How's it going, everyone? Get the fuck out of my room. I'm playing Minecraft on Gemmy Master Animatronics. And today I'll make a review over these 12-inch musical Christmas moving figures. Now, I was going to include another one that I have that right now it's in my grandma's house. It was a Gemmy one, but then I realized, hey, that's a Gemmy. That's a completely different video. It does pretty much relate with these because it's the same height. But I guess I'll make a video about that one later on, but I wanted to show it at first, but then I'm like, let's just keep it generic. So what we have here is my only 12 inches musical Christmas moving figures, and ironically, the very first one and the very last one are the ones that have the box, the rest don't. So I'll go ahead and explain each individual one and we'll get going. Now, we'll start with this one. This is the oldest out of all of them, and this one has been with me since I was 12, I believe. Because there was this, it was like the time when I was rediscovering stores, and there was this Chinese store where the last time I believe they had Santas was 2017, and they had a bunch. They actually did take out a bunch that were old stocks, but after that, I didn't necessarily see any others. But back in 2011, or was it 11? No, it was, late 2011, to make it a bit more specific. I went and I purchased two in that store. I purchased this one, and I purchased another one where I no longer have it. It's long gone because it was all fucked. Like, first it was fine, but I was so stupid at the time that I ended up just completely ruining it. But let me see if I can find a specific picture of the one Santa I'm talking about. Hopefully it shows up. Must be in Christmas shit. Must be the oldest picture. There we go. Okay. I got it with this one, which, ignore this. It used to have a Merry Christmas sticker, you know, that gold and black one. This is like the very first lineup I took a picture of from Santa's. There was this one that was basically one of those walking and swinging ones, but with a Buzz Lightyear mechanism. Yeah, I made this one. I regret it so much. It's, again, another one that's been long gone. This is how one of my musical walking Santas used to look like when I cut the beard. I chopped the beard off, and it was still really bad. And it wasn't something that was, that easy to clean. Then, of course, there was this one, the motorbike one. The motorbike, you people know it. Nothing really new about that one. Now, one thing about this photo is that I believe that this one still had its original mechanism. Heavily modified, but this one still had the original gearbox that was plastic and everything. So, of course, this one, as I said, heavily modified even in this picture. It did have this. This is something that it did have. But, the tree thing, I don't know what the fuck I did here. I just glued a piece of, like, clear blue plastic. And instead of the regular switch, I changed it by a button switch. Not too sure, but anyways. Very first one out of, like, the very first two are the ones I'm talking about. This one and this one. Now, you guys may have remembered from the 8-inch video, this is the head that right now is on the body of that one 8-inch that I said that I received headless. So anyways, this is how it used to look like, okay? And it, it was heavily modified even back then, because if you guys can see right here, that's one of those metallic lever switches. And at the time, I don't think it had the other switch on the side, but later on, I ended up putting a switch on the side for the music, which I deeply regret, and I believe that next year I will try to do something to take this off and put some kind of black cover, some 3D printed cover or something, because I really despise it. Then, of course, here's where that switch used to be at. It's terrible, I know. And there's the just a regular switch right now, like it originally. And I was not, actually, yeah, never mind. I was going to say, I didn't even put it right, but never mind. It is put right in the right direction. So, another thing that's really, another thing that was modified about this one, the chip from this one went to one of my uncle's Santas, which, again, another one of those deep ass regrets that I really... I just regret it so much, having done that, because I really lost a very important part of a Santa Claus history. And in all honesty, if I had that Santa again, I would just swap boards and that's it. But this Santa, the original chip died because, I don't know, like back then, as my iron was not really grounded, it would kill chips easily. It still kills chips to this day, don't get me wrong, but it was a whole lot easier before to do that. So this one's chip died, and I had to find a replacement, and as I didn't have a replacement, I was like, okay, I'll just sacrifice the board of one of mine. Again, now it has a board that Daniel gave me, one of those that Daniel sent me. You know, the transistor and the thing, and I just soldered it all together, but I really miss when this one had its original chip. Again, it's the same thing. But the pitch, I think the pitch was higher a little bit. Other than that, of course, I've taken it apart many times. The hooks must have broken off, so I ended up putting screws that were never there to begin with. The candle had a crack, which right now it seems to not have anymore, but there was a crack over there. Again, it's in shit condition, but I still like it because it's one of my very first ones. However, I do as well have a very special place. Like, you know, the 12-inch ones have a very special place in my heart due to the fact my very first Santa Claus ever was actually a 12-inch. A white candle, 12-inch. I believe it was painted ice. I think the ice were painted. I wish I could find that fucking picture. It's dug in somewhere with some other pictures that my mom took, but again, I have to find it at some fucking point to see how exactly it looked like and see if somebody has it so I can buy it. But it was, again, one of these generic ones with that face, I believe. I'll have to find the picture. That's one thing I really ought to do sometime. But anyways, this is the first one. The box, of course. Window box. Battery operated, 12-inch musical Christmas balloon figure, moving arms and heads, and head, coolity, okay. Seasonal costumes, highly detailed features, realistic, like, don't confuse this with quality, this is coolity, so that makes too much sense. Realistic animation, plays your favorite Christmas tunes, a really shitty deep-fried picture of the batteries it takes. This item's a Christmas animated thing and not a toy. Insert to C, it's light noise from the motor. And I believe this is the date the box was printed, but don't get me wrong, it could not, it could be as it could not. But it says 0295-1051. So I suppose this was printed 1051 in the year 2002, I'm not sure. Anyways, one thing I forgot to mention about this one's made by DJ, the same makers of that one, of those golfing Santas that I own. And the battery terminals it has are actually the original battery terminals for that musical walking Santa Claus that I showed in the picture. Yeah, that's literally, like this, when I because again, I got this one first in late 2011, and then late 2012, I got this one, and I just did not feel like dealing with anything, so I ended up just changing the contacts, and that was it. I don't know why. I really liked walking Santas back then, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the best thing ever. So I changed the terminals, and now the terminals of the, you know, the musical walking Santa that it has are the ones from this one. And I don't really plan on changing them, you know, swapping them back anytime soon, but it's just a little informative thing. One thing I can also see is that back then it wasn't that discolored. I realized that back then it wasn't this discolored. This is something that happened within the years with moisture, because this one has been with me since I started. Like literally this picture was taken outside of my toy room. Let's basically say this was like this. Well, you would basically turn to the right and that would be the door of my toy room. And my toy room, for anybody who doesn't know, back in 2013, 14, 15, 16, and 17, was basically a piece of shit. it was what I had at the time, and I was grateful for that. But let me tell ya, the place was pretty, you know, it would get dirty pretty easily. The walls were breaking down all the time. Moisture, dirt, but extreme degrees of moisture. These are just robot pictures, but look at the area. This is basically where they used to be. And they used to be all just, no, this is my room. Back when I was modifying the thing. Let me see. There we go. Basically, this was how the thing used to be like. Then, of course, it started getting more crowded and crowded, but you guys see, those are patches on the, how's it called, on the wall, because the wall was literally, you know, the inner part was breaking down, and it was all just moist, especially inside the closet. It was all moist. So that, then there was the sunlight that would actually bother, you know, sometimes. The animatronics were before on the floor. This was my early bunch of animatronics. I think it was 2014 actually. I can't remember. But again, it was pretty, like, they were cool times, but now that I remember it, it was pretty shitty. It was really shitty, and I don't really want to go back to there. And the thing is that I still have animatronics and stuff there, so I really should do something. Anyways, that's pretty much the informative thing. So basically, moisture doesn't really lead to, doesn't lead to anything good. So, without further ado, here we go with this one. Of course, as I said, you're supposed to trigger the music and the movement at the same time, but I was so stupid I decided dividing things. I just did that so it could work like emotion, you know, the classic thing. I want to have it moving. And yeah, for some fucking kid right now, it's going to probably, you know, go and make the autistic comment of the month. Yeah, I fucking know the face is a rip-up straight from Gemmy, Santas. Don't fucking tell me that, because I clearly have one over there that it's Gemmy and it has this kind of the same face. So don't make a stupid comment and a fool out of yourself. Anyway, so there's that one. Now we're going with this one. This one's from 2015, and for this one I do believe I have the legitimate date, because I had the, let's see. There we go. This one I got it December 15th of 2015, and it's got a funny story behind. So basically one day, I was, because, you know, I was still in school, and I would usually go to my grandma's house, in December when I had to do some, you know, some how's the shit called? Some compensation, some shit like that in December. And I would go back, you know, my grandma would take me back to her house. I would eat something, then wait for a little bit, go back to school. So basically what happened was I saw this thing like this on its side on a pet shop. Now, long story short, my grandmother has a place, you know, under her house that I don't remember what it used to be before. I think it was like a place where you would like see houses and such. But then, of course, that guy went out, and there came, you know, a lady came in there that basically has a pet shop to this day. Not necessarily, not a place where you can or where they sell animals, but actually a place where you can, you know, have your dog. Have your dog's haircut, have it, you know, a bath, all that crap, and you can buy toys for it and all that crap. But anyways, going back with the topic, my grandmother basically rents that place. You know, she owns the place and she rents it to people. So, long story short, one day I saw the thing, like, you know, I saw the place that was closed and everything, and I saw the Santa on its side on the bottom shelf. I was like, oh my god, that is so cool. And I really, you know, I always do this thing, which right now it's kind of cringy to think about it, but I still do it, and it doesn't really hurt to ask. But I always ask when I see a Santa or something for sale, not for sale, for decoration in the window, I usually ask, hey, is it for sale? Would you consider selling it? I collect things. I did this year, not too much success, but you get the point. This is one of those that was actually sold to me. So, basically the lady told me, yeah, I mean, I have no problem with that, but the head is broken off. I'm like, the head's broken off? Yeah, she grabbed it, the fucking head was broken off. So I was like, okay, well, I'll buy it anyways, doesn't matter. So I ended up buying it for a steal of 50 pesos, which again, it wasn't necessarily, like, it was a fair price. The thing was broken, dirty. I don't think it worked fine, but, you know, you get the point. Anyways, this thing needed a lot of repairs with the switch. It needed pieces to be replaced on the switch. It had just a piece broken off. I believe it was just a question of, you know, drilling a hole and putting a screw, and that was it. The head is held nice, and it moves and everything. There's one issue with it, though, and it's that the face is made, and the hands, of course, are made of that plastic that that rubber, I mean, that melts the, you know, that melts the plastic. It makes a chemical reaction, and it melts the plastic. And let me tell you, these eyes were a whole lot worse when I first got it. It were, like, I kid you not, there was white shit all around the eye. It looked like if it was having a fucking, I don't know, like if it had fucking cataracts or something. I can't remember, but it was just ridiculous. It looked absolutely ridiculous. But of course, I took the eyes off, I cut the leftover, and I hope that this doesn't happen anytime soon. I know it will at some point, because again, years pass and everything, but hopefully nothing happens. But of course, I can't just not point out how weird the face looks like. The glossy finishing, the weird paint, the fucking freaky ass eyes that, of course, Furby eyes. That's pretty much why I brought this piece of shit. There we go. There's that. Again, it's really odd. The face is really odd. Other than that, it's got the classic 12-inch looks to it that I really like. I mean, I like this implanted eye 12-inch figure look. But anyways, what else do I have to say about it? I believe the plastic on the body was red. Yep, the plastic in the body was red. And this is actually one that I wanted to mention because of how weird it is. And I wanna make sure I'm gonna say the right thing. So let me just touch a little. There we go. Okay. So of course, as I said before, on 12-inch figures, there's usually, I thought and I believed that there was only one way of assembly, which was this one. You know, the body shells and the mechanism is literally trapped in between those two body shells by a little square fit. But this one, like, I thought both, you know, both methods, because as I said, there's the method like this and there's the method like this one, where you basically have the, hold on. Alright, there we go. Now I can actually say it better. So there was, as I said before, I thought there were only two ways, and the second way was basically a blow mold plastic, which I fucking pushed the, there we go. Which was, you know, an entire body of blow mold plastic, and it has the mechanism suspended by a little ring with 4 legs, with 4 tabs pretty much, with 4 screws. You know, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, 4. But then, of course, this one came by, and I was so confused because this one has, you can actually disassemble the body just like this one, but the mechanism is held in place like these. It literally has that, and I was like, that's so fucking weird, but cool. Nonetheless, it's cool. But yeah, I mean, other than that, that's pretty much everything. I believe that was it. I didn't really have to do anything with the candle or anything. It was just a question of cleaning it up, checking the electronics. Now, it's having an issue, which I know the issue is that the coil is cut somewhere, and it's a really tiny cut, so it goes in and out. So the sound may go in and out a little bit, and I have to tap it for the thing to keep, you know, playing. But it's definitely not a circuitry issue. It's just the stupid speaker. So, first of all, this is one of those, and again, another thing that surprised me about this one, it has a three-way switch. Now, I'm not used at all to see a 12-inch, a small, what I would consider a small Santa with a three-way switch. I'm more, you know, I'm much more used to seeing these with three-way switches. That one, no, you know, than these. So again, we're gonna go first with the on. This is pretty much how it moves constantly. Not bad, but you can add music to it. And there we go again. Yeah, I guess you get the point. As I said before, the issues have the speaker's having that issue, and it's one of the first times it actually happens. The first time I remember it happening was with a robot that Kevin gave me. Right now it's happening with this one, so probably next year it's gonna need a total speaker replacement, and that's gonna be tough because again, these things. Most of these Santas, you cannot really achieve the sound quality they've had with those speakers, and sometimes I just don't have the speakers that sound that well. So, again, I don't really like replacing speakers at all. So, there we go. Okay, so now we go with this one. This one's from 2017. Yeah, I haven't gotten another one since 2017. I didn't get another one until 2017. And this one actually broke this year. So, you know, when I first got it, it had this issue where the lantern arm was snapped, and I had to 3D print the piece to fix that. And it was something, I kid you not, I believe I did this either the 22nd or the 23rd of December, like literally one day away from Christmas Eve, when I had to take it to my grandma's house, and I was like, you son of a bitch, you break right now, I'm gonna go crazy. Like, I went crazy, and I was like, you know what, I'll just design the fucking piece, print it, install it, you go fuck yourself. And yeah, it worked perfectly, actually. It's stronger than it ever was, and these, it's no longer flimsy ass plastic that it doesn't really take the glue that well, so fuck you. Anyways, when did I get this one? When did I get this one? There we go, November 5th of 2017 in the fair in my school, along with the 10-inch one that I showed in the last video that has a clear candle. What is the Yinfa, the musical walking, my very first Yinfa Santa. Yeah, that was a Christmas before I went meeting Kevin. Pretty life-changing if you ask me. Anyways, so this one did not really have any issue aside from the arm and I believe a split gear. So all it needed after that was just cleaning, a lot of cleaning, and that made it. The hat is coming off, but I'm not gluing it yet. So yeah, other than that, the speaker's right there, small speaker. Again, another one that's meant to use 2 Cs, but I'm running it with a double A's. So here we go. Oh. And this one has a regular switch like the others. So here we go. So there's that one, and if you guys noticed, it has the different motion than the others, because the others, as I said before, the head doesn't look up when the arms look closed. You know, in this one it's the other way around, so it looks like this. The head's, you know, looking down, and of course on this one the head's looking. The head looks up when the arms are open. Oh, again, piece of shit. Yeah, I'll have to replace that speaker next year. I have a lot of work to do. Another thing that I can't really help but point out is look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at how fucking weird they look like. That is just so fucking weird. And I just realized there's like tiny specks of dirt there. Fucking piece of shit. Hold on. Oh, where's my toothbrush when I need it? There. It always happens, like each year this thing gets specks of dust in the face. Let me just see if I can scrub them off. Hopefully this helps. It doesn't create further dirt. There we go. That's a little better. So look at the weird eye texture now. This is not just the, you know, the average eye with the regular pattern. This is weird ass shit. But anyways, that's practically that one. So now we go with this one again. Another one from late 2017. What year did I get this one? I actually got it in the store where I got this one. That year I got a bunch from that store. The one that has the pictures in the chest. This one, the mooning one. What else? There's a few others. I had to remember. One of the piano Santas came from there too. There's a bunch. So I got this one. One of the last ones, I believe. No, the last 11-inch? No, that's actually... Wait. Oh, that's right, that one. Santa hat tapping. Okay, that one. I got it December 6th of 2017. And it had a lot of issues, and it was tampered with. That was the worst part, because I don't believe the switch was original, and there were like wires tangled in. So I don't know if the chip was original or not, but the thing was stuck as well. And here's why it has this weird outfit. It's supposed to have a regular outfit just like these. In fact, I have the outfit over here. No, this is the old outfit from one of mine. No. I have the outfit over here. But the outfit was so decayed that the second I put it in cold water, and you know, I know about these things, the whole red cover, you know, the whole red coating comes off. This is what happens when you expose a Santa like this to a lot of moisture and a lot of weird conditions. But that wasn't it. Arm wires were rusted. Specifically this one, if I'm not wrong. It really was rusted. Or was it this one? I think it was this one, yeah. They were rusted, so I had to put the heat shrink and everything. And you know, for a while, it actually had its original vest, you know, even fucked up like that. But then, of course, this started happening. This started getting undone, and I realized that this really could not be, you know, used anymore. Because it would just look like shit, and it would keep on just breaking and breaking. How's it set? The synthetic, shit. That's one of the words I struggled saying. Synthetics, and you know, that thing. The clothing from the bottom actually started breaking, and that's, you know, when it's not reinforced by this, it's pretty bad. And this is why I took it out. And I was like, you know what, I bought one of those bottle covers, because this is actually something you put on a bottle, and I was like, this fits, I'm fine. But it still has its original pants, though. That's one thing. They didn't really suffer too much. But again, they did suffer anyways. But, you know, you can hardly see them, so fuck that. Anyways, this one has an old chip. That's why I think it's not original, but who knows? The candle on this one does actually have a crack. You guys see the strain marks. I don't know what the fuck they did, but yeah, Chinese people right there. And the base was, and I believe is right now, glued shut because all the screw holders were broken. Literally, that's how shit they went. How badly they fucked it up. And of course, even the base has cracks. So again, it's ridiculous. The shit work they did and the fact they were actually selling it. But I was like, you know what, I like it. So I bought it for cheap, and the second I go out of the store, I reached, you know, under the arm, I turn a gear, the thing starts moving. I'm like, yeah, it's unstuck. So that's all it needed. Now, it may start moving slowly because, you know, it's what usually happens with that motor after I lubricated it, but it's gonna get fast soon. So here we go. So this is one of those that uses the 3 AA's, and excuse me, but I'll have to take one out to put into this one. Two, I'll have to take 2 out. On some of these, not necessarily these 2, but on some, the thing is actually shorted. Well, shorted, I mean, there's one battery that's not connected. Like, that one, for example, uses 3 AA's. And it only works with 2. That's what they did in the factory. So, again, here we go with this one. This is the last one I got, and I got it this year in late October. I think, was it October? Was it not even late October? And then 12. Candle generic close. October 19th. That's when I got this one. It was a Saturday, I believe. Was it a Saturday? Yes, it was a Saturday. Pretty good. And I like the combination of like the shitty clothing with the decent, you know, thing over there. But yeah, I mean, ignore the fucking cat. Stupid piece of shit cat. This one came in a blind box, and they had these up all year. Like they, you know, I got it way before everyone started putting the Christmas things up, because we start in November in the stores to put all the Christmas shit up, but they had this one for longer than that. So again, here we go with the things again. The one with the motor notice, AA batteries and such. Moving arms and head quality. Yeah, this one has the well-made ones, and it costed me 450 pesos. That's fucking ridiculous. But, you know, I like it because it has another candle. Like, none of my others have this candle. And, as any other, it just needed one thing. Cleaning, and that was it. Oh, and it was stuck. That's right. It was actually stuck. The hands have to be posed. You know, the arms had to be posed, I mean. And the hands and everything had to be cleaned up because they were sticky and dirty. Here's a hot glue stain that that's from the factory. Okay, so other than that, it just needed that. There wasn't really any, you know, any relevant desoldering or anything. There was actually desoldering. I had to take the thing off. I let it run for a while. I threw some WD-40 to the motor so that it started, you know, running fine, and I left it for a while so we would get used to that, and it works fine. No issues, nothing. I like it. Again, it's one of those that they implanted the fucking beard. There's hardly any beard there, and it's down. It's, you know, it's below where it's supposed to be. But yeah, I like it anyways. Really cool. So that's practically everything for the video. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next review. I'm not sure if I'll get to do the 16-inch and the outcasts, because there's actually like some that I really cannot classify right now. Like there's, okay, the Holly Top one, I believe it's a 16-inch. Then there's that weird one right there. That one I can't really classify too much. The Mickey. The saxophone one, that's not 12 nor 16. It's somewhere in between. It's somewhere in between. And then of course there's this one, the traditional Christmas figure. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do a video or something on these. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Fucking weird eyes.